This is Northeast Current with John Baldino. WQPX invites you to join John and his guests as they explore public affairs, current events, and arts and culture in northeastern and central Pennsylvania. Now, let's meet today's guests on Northeast Current.
Good morning and welcome to Northeast Current. I'm John Baldino. It is great to have all of you watching and great to have Conor McGuigan back in the guest chair. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me back.
And
It's been too long.
It's been quite a long time.
Yes, it has.
Yes, but there's always some kind of McGuigan on the show somewhere, somehow.
We show up.
Yes. One of these days we'll have you as a guest while your sister is hosting, and you can just do your little brother.
It'll be like, Bizarro John Baldino show. It'll
Yeah.
be, the edge of the universe.
I feel like we're there already.
Yeah.
And we're creeping closer, as we're creeping closer to Bite the Puppet.
Bite the Puppet. Come see Bite the Puppet tonight, 8 o'clock. I just want to get that off the top, and we'll mention it.
At the Northeast Theater, or in the Hotel German building, and we will mention that periodically.
Yes.
So, Bite the Puppet. Will there be any actual biting of any puppets?
There actually will be a puppet bitten here or there. The title, really, I just like the way it sounded, Bite the Puppet. There are puppets in the show, however, it is not a puppet show from beginning to end. It's more of, well, my tagline was all the class of a 70s variety show mixed with the spice of children's programming.
Okay, so it was kind of like Donnie and Marie meet Sesame Street?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
I also thought of, like, the Tony Orlando, that type of, that show was just insane.
Laugh-In and the Muppets.
Kind of, yeah. People have called my stuff kind of like Andy Kaufman meets Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Okay.
Which is
That's
a pretty, it's pretty accurate.
I mean disturbing in the most complimentary way possible.
Of course, yeah. No, absolutely. And so, yeah, Bite the Puppet is, it's got puppets, we have singing, we have dancing, all to bring you the message, the true meaning of benefits for the Northeast Theater, because this is a benefit. All the money goes towards the theater. Because I'm a big supporter of having this professional theater in downtown Scranton. I think it's a keystone to, progressing the city. The whole city's growing. I think having that there is just as important.
Let's talk a little bit about the theater before we get into the specifics of
Sure.
Biting the Puppet, because you're on the board of the directors of the theater.
Yes, I am.
And this is a major fundraiser for the organization. For anybody who's not familiar with the Northeast Theater, give it to us in a nutshell.
Northeast Theater started originally in Scranton, and then they moved up to Keystone College, and we're using the theater up there, and decided that a move to Scranton sounded like the right thing. And it's been great so far. They came down, they renovated the entire second floor ballroom of the Hotel German. It hasn't been used since 1983, or I forget the exact date, but you walk in and it is just it's a nice theater space. I believe about 150 seats, so it's intimate, but it's not just a little shoebox either. And they've been there now about a year, a little over actually. But and they do professional theater. Usually a lot of their shows. I was going to say they don't. They're not doing Cats. It's not going to be like Broadway Theater League, but they put on very good shows, and I'm happy to be a board member with them, and I'm happy to do this benefit for them. So
I think they do the kind of shows that we need to have done here.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Broadway Theater League does a great job of
They
bringing
do.
in those national tours.
Right.
We need something else too.
Yeah, and this is it, and it is you get you always say city, New York City quality performances, but you do. I mean, the actors they have wonderful actors, and the performances are always great down there. So.
And what a great location in the Hotel German, right in the middle of downtown.
Yes.
Parking right next door.
It is
So
parking right next door. You can't complain about parking. And now there's a whole series of restaurants around the area. People have made. I've had people come up to me and just say it's really great to go. You catch, some dinner beforehand. You go see a movie. You get a drink afterwards. Whatever. But
and it's all walking distance.
and it's all walking distance.
Yeah.
You can make a night on the town in Scranton with local theater. So it's great.
It's about time.
It's about time.
So to keep supporting that, Bite the Puppet, major fundraiser for the Northeast Theater.
Bite the Puppet is based on, not based on, it's in the vein of shows I used to do in the basement at Test Pattern.
Okay.
When I owned the gallery on Adams Avenue, just a couple blocks away. And I would do these bizarre shows, but funny. I mean, it was all to get laughs out of people. So they became kind of a hit. And so at the one board meeting, I asked Dave Zarko, I said, would you mind if I did a benefit for the theater? And he said, sure. And yeah, so we have kind of my same kind of zany humor. It's puppets, and I have 2 assistants this time, my girlfriend Andrea Talarico and a good friend of mine, Jeff Hopkins, who's in the local band Dr. Horse Machine and the Money Notes. And the 3 of us, they're my assistants. They interact with me. It's kind of odd because they're silent the whole time. Mm-hmm. They're kind of this, but they're on stage the whole time, and they're just as part of the show as me or the puppets. So, but it's a great show, and I think people get a big kick out of it.
So, what's the show all about?
The show is
a storyline that you can share.
It's more of like a variety show.
Okay.
I wanted to, because I wanted the whole time I'm talking about theater in downtown Scranton. So it is a series of acts, all kind of connected with a common theme of you're supporting local theater and look what we can do. It's a little tongue-in-cheek because
okay.
I try to make my shows so you can see the edges, so you can see the seams, you might want to say. And that's kind of where the humor is with it. But it's not a play, like, there's not a protagonist and all that, not an arc per se. But I do have, from Test Band, I have a couple actual people always enjoyed my Freddy puppet, which he has seen some wear and tear. He lost an eye a long time ago, so we gave him an X. He's filthy. I bought him at Mertz's Hardware, which used to be down on Penn Avenue next to what is now Mertz, which is just kind of a coincidence, the piano bar. But anyway,
and they sold puppets in the hardware store.
They sold everything. Morris Mertz down there sold everything. And so I went in one day and I found Freddie, and he has become, if you drive by the theater on Spruce Street, you will see a picture of me and Freddie looking a little manic, which is kind of, if there is a theme to the show, it's being manic. Right, Freddie? That's right. So, so
yes, we're not talking marionettes. We're not talking
marionettes
type puppets, but very unique and clever puppets.
And that's 2 weeks after me. There's a benefit with Rich Grunn at the theater also called The Key, which is also very good. And he actually he's professional. He makes his own puppets, and he's a wonderful performer. And I feel bad when people see Bite the Puppet. They expect and like I said.
You made 1 or 2. No, you actually did you make any of these?
I made none of these.
You made none of these. Okay.
I made none of these. Well, you could say I made this because this was stuffed ammo at one time, and I just kind of tore him apart.
He's now just an unstuffed.
He's Crazy Joe, or whatever you want. He's also missing an eye. It's kind of another theme.
You've got a theme going on here. Okay.
Yeah, and I like found object art. I don't know. Like Wig. Wig's not really a puppet, but boy, you shake it, and look at that.
I'm positively mesmerized.
You are mesmerized.
It could be my ADD kicking in, though. I also think the lights are very pretty.
Wig is also a big hit. In my production of The Big Makeout is where Wig made his or her debut, and Wig was a big hit. And Rubber Alien Mask. Really just the bottom of the barrel. Has nothing, I wore this in 2nd grade, but
his name, though, is very descriptive.
You're right.
You
know what you're getting.
Rubber alien mask.
No beating around the bush. But like I said, again, this is the type of comedy that you have. And there's dance numbers with the puppets, 2 records. There's an entire soundtrack that's all put the records.
All records. So
yeah.
We hear the little crackling.
You hear the crackling.
Records.
You see us, we feature the records.
Now, I have to ask about the what looks to me like a Power Ranger helmet.
Yes.
Is that what it is?
This has become big. This is the Ranto 50 mask. Actually one of several now. I only had one for a while, but I bought more. And Ranto 50, I actually did a show called Ranto 50 Goes West, a Scrantonian tale, because Ranto stood where you couldn't spell Scranton without Ranto. You see, Ranto's in the middle.
Okay.
And it stood for the Resident Animatronic Neo-Transportational Omni-Man 50. In other words, Ranto 50 will take you around town, all the sections, South Side, East Side, Manuka, Orm Street, the plot. Wherever you have to go, you call Ranto up because you can't rely on these buses and cabs anymore. So Ranto also is in the show, and I have a little surprise this time. I have some friends joining me. I have expanded the Ranto project. I have too many calls, so I actually have the SCN network, the Secondary Commutative Network. Those are the other letters in Scranton. Yes, okay.
Yes.
Didn't know if you got that or not.
I'm following. Frighteningly,
I'm
following. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
They helped me out, and this is the Ranto mask, and Ranto's become quite popular. So that's the Ranto. That's what Ranto stands for, and that's what Ranto does. And he is also a big feature of the show. There's a slideshow, a big slideshow that Ranto hosts.
So we could call this a multimedia experience.
It is multimedia, yeah. It is, yeah.
How did all of this start? How where did the puppets come from?
The puppets came from...
I'm asking a loaded question because I'm told that there's a photograph of you as a child in cowboy pajamas with a puppet, a handmade puppet in your hand.
Yes, yeah, I've always liked puppets. I've always liked theater. But the puppets I've just always had as a kid, and we actually have video of me putting on weird, again, like things that aren't puppets, but using them as puppets. I've just always kind of got a kick out of, you know, what do you call it, personifying? Yeah,
yes.
Sure. So anyway, at the Bog one time, a friend of mine wanted me to perform at the Bog open mic, and I lived upstairs, and I always went to them. I thought, okay, if they let me, sure. And it became a big hit. I started lip-syncing with puppets. The puppets were lip-syncing to a song called Never Been Any Reason by Head East from the late 70s, which I'm sure you know to hear, but maybe don't know the title. But
probably to hear.
Yeah. So anyway, it started there, and I kept going down and doing more and more bizarre things, and it kind of caught on from there. And then when I had Test Pattern, I said, I'm going to do a whole show of this, and did 3 shows down there, and now here I am in a main stage theater doing my thing.
How about that?
How about that?
I don't know what else to say.
It's easy when you know how.
Wrap it up for us today. So until next time, I'm John Baldino, and I'm being presented with the birthday cake because today's my birthday. Thank you, Beth. That was one of our camera people, Beth. And I've got a chocolate birthday cake, so that means I'm getting off camera right now. So until next time, my thanks to the crew, my thanks to all of you. Thanks for spending part of your Saturday with us. Make it a good weekend.